Hi there, my name is Casper Jones. I handcraft skateboards for Life Skateboards, and you're watching a live day with Casper. Real quick here, I'm going to share this to a couple other platforms, and I will be right back. One more, and I'll be right back. Promise. One more. And we are finally back. All right, what's up? And we are finally back. All right, what's up, Freddie? Thanks for tuning in. All right, so to start off here today, we're going to be loading up the standard press, and then I've got six boards in the other room to shape. If you're unfamiliar with what you're watching here, this is Life Skateboards. We handcraft skateboards all the way from the veneer up. So we glue our own boards here. We glue them by hand. We have them in the press for 24 hours. They cure for 7 days, and then the shape is cut out. We also apply our graphics with hand-carved Lino blocks. Now today I have something really cool to show you guys right off the bat here. If you didn't know, I'm hosting a contest over at Lawrence Skate Park, Lawrence, Indiana, on November 9th at 2:30 p.m. It's called Remember November. It's the second annual one. It's going to be a really fun contest. Every portion of it's going to have a ladies first portion to encourage more women to compete. We've got $750 in cash prizes and a ton of product to give away. Some of that ended up being from our friend Doug Frazier over at Life Without Limits. So he's been playing around with some laser engravers, and he had these made for our contest. I'm pretty stoked on them. I know this is backwards for you guys, but these bottle openers are really cool. So it's the Skate Park Respect by Lady Skate Squad Remember November event. So that's this right here. He threw Life on there, a good friend of the company. He also made these for us for the contest. We got all these guys to give away here. Oh, those are upside down. Look at all these patches. We got rectangle patches in a light tan, dark tan, and red patch here. What's up, Dev? And then he also made these circular ones. So these are all for the contest, and I'm still picking up more prizes. I've got to go by Masterworks Tattoo and pick up a gift card. We've got a gift card from Mutant Tattoo. I got to go by Minus Skate Shop and pick some stuff up. Q Skate Park. Meet over with Odyssey and a couple other people. But the really cool thing that he made for us, and this one is a gift for the shop, is this right here. So this is one of our graphics from Life Skateboards, and Doug over at Life Without Limits made us this cutting board, and I know me and Sam are stoked on it. If Sam's watching, this is the first time he got to see it. I think it's really cool. So check out Life Without Limits. He's making all kinds of cool stuff. He's on Instagram. That's Doug Frazier. This will end up on the wall here somewhere at the shop, and then you'll probably get a chance to win some of these at the I'll learn how to talk one day, I promise. You'll probably get a chance to win something like this at Remember November on November 9th. Remember, guys, that's November 9th at Lawrence Skate Park in Indiana. What's up, Joey? Thanks for tuning in. Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah, double tap the screen for me. Let people know you like it. Share it, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We're going to get to board making, and I'm going to talk about what happened this weekend, which was pretty fun. All right, let me get this out of the way. So, like I said, we're going to be gluing up and pressing 4 boards in the standard press today, and then I got 6 in the other room to shape. Also, forgive me with this temperature change. I am blowing my nose every few minutes here, so I'll try to make sure that happens off camera. Good morning, buddy. From Central England. Oh, we don't fix boards. Sorry, I saw someone say they want to fix their old toy machine. So we just make really good boards here. We don't fix boards. So I'm going to start off with standards, and I'll go ahead and break down what's inside your board, and then we'll get into what happened this weekend. Let's see, Freddie had a question. Yeah, it's cold this morning, and I mean, I was out in Cleveland, the Cleveland, Ohio area, so I was getting that lake cold in the morning. It got real cold at night. I spent the weekend sleeping in the lagoon, the Donnie Billington Bowl. There's actually a premiere of the full trip video tomorrow, and video from Jim's perspective on the Fireball Farm posts today. I met up with his YouTube guy, his filmer. We talked quite a bit about what he wants to do, gave him some pointers as far as editing and stuff on my end, and I know I'm new to it, so we're all just kind of learning this together. We are definitely getting a new bag for this today. Yeah, the whole bag didn't even come off. Whoops. All right. Big knife. Sorry, this is some stuff that I tend to do ahead of the live, but it's been a minute, so I'm a little behind here. All right, so let's talk about what's inside of your skateboard. So if you don't know, your skateboard is made out of maple. Hard maple, specifically Great Lakes or Canadian maple. The reason you want maple specifically, it's a very strong yet malleable piece of type of wood. The reason you want Great Lakes or Canadian maple is you want something that was grown slow. So you want slow growth, long winters. That creates tight grains and creates a very strong piece of wood right there. So inside your skateboard, you've got 7 pieces of maple. And these are between 1/16 and 1/20. And I'll explain the difference as we go here. So you've got a face, which is a pretty vertical grain, a core, which is a not so pretty, it can be blemished to vertical grain, and then a crossband, which is a horizontal grain. Then another core, crossband, core, and another face. So those crossbands give the board strength in every direction. And then the concave itself gives it end-to-end strength. So there you go. And remember, you guys can get these boards at lifeskateboard.com. All right. So as we get started here, give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and cut this little piece off of here. We get this flipped over here. Got something tied up in the roller here. There's that. New gloves. Alright, sorry about that. Once again, some things I should have done before the live, but oh well, we're here anyway. Alright, so this weekend was really fun. Me, Luke, Chuck, and our new filmer went out to Columbia Station, Ohio to visit the Fireball Farm again. This time we got a lot more skating filmed with someone that has experience filming skateboarding. Awesome, Joey. We got to skate the lagoon a lot. We slept in the lagoon. Jim took us out to a heavy equipment auction, which was pretty cool. I've never been to that. Awesome, Jet Life. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's just cleaning up some of the dried glue off the edge of the roller that takes a little bit of time, and I feel like it's boring, so I don't show you guys, but I definitely will start to do those things. So we went out to a heavy equipment auction, interviewed the owner of that auction, which was pretty cool. I'm very ignorant to that whole world, so that was really cool to see all that. Oh, we did bust. Don't you worry. We busted out the fisheye. We actually learned that my phone was filming at a better quality than the camera we were using before, so we just used the 0.5 on a Scorpion hook, and it looks great. There's actually 2 60-second sessions that'll probably get posted along with it. But let's see. While we were out there, we ended up going over to another spine ramp that was built by Donnie Billington, the same builder as the Lagoon and TriStar's mini ramp. TriStar's ramp is over at Stoke Run, if you guys don't know that. So we got an interview with Donnie Billington, skated the spine ramp, and we just had a great time. Got a good interview with Jim over at the Fireball Farm about his beginnings in skateboarding and his transition into the skateboarding industry. If you didn't know, he started TriStar skate park and shop before he sold it to Sam and Shelby. So really looking forward to that posting tomorrow. And we closed it out with a segment called Coffee Talks. John, who will probably hop into this live here at some point, he hit me up about sending me some coffee from Aromatic Roasters. So we started doing little coffee talks, and these they're going to be powered by Aromatic Roasters. I've got a bag of it in the car. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything to grind it up with me today. But we were making coffee all weekend with a butane burner. It was really good. But looking forward to more trips like that. Absolutely, 7 ply. How many plies are we doing? 7 plies. So it's a standard 7, but you can order a 6, 7, or 8 from us. Forgive me if I'm not catching stuff in the chat. Ooh. And once we're done with these 4 here, we're going to load them up into the press, raise up the press, and we'll go in the next room to start shaping. These boards will be under pressure in the mold for 24 hours and then cure for 7 days before the shape is cut out. Now, if you want to see some of these finished products, head over to lifeskateboard.com. We just dropped a new website that's a lot easier to find everything. My new shape is on there. So if you go to lifeskateboard.com and search Casper, my new shape will come up. It's the Casper 3.0. My graphic is not currently on the website, but it will be as soon as possible. I'm kind of hoping I'm wrong with it not being on there right now. But if you want my graphic or Lori's graphic on any board, you just put it in the notes for right now until it's available. Yanni, I don't mean to speak for you, but I happen to know David over at the Ugandan Skate Project is doing a lot of really cool things. I know a lot of pro skaters have come out there and visited those parks. So I'm not sure what part of Africa you're in, but maybe you can let the skateboarding culture spread your direction too. Those guys that built that ramp in Uganda started with that thing out of brick. And I know it got destroyed at one point, but I know it also got rebuilt. Glue up this face here. And then when I'm stepping over here to the side, I'm just gluing up the ends of the boards. That way when we put it in the press, it doesn't slide around. You live in Zimbabwe? Yeah, I haven't heard anything happening out of there, but definitely check out the, I believe it's called the Uganda Skate Project. And I've noticed that that project is kind of spread around the continent, it seems. So, once again, I'm ignorant to it, and I don't want to speak for you or where you're at. I just am aware of some growth as far as skateboarding in Africa going on right now. All right. Yeah, lots of dirt. I did notice, man, those guys at the Uganda project, they're starting to do some wild stuff. I know I saw a McTwist go down there already. Like, there's some crazy skateboarding that's going to happen out of there. I think it's also because you don't have the influence of, mainstream skateboarding, so you're going to end up doing things that you don't see all over the place. Sometimes a lack of things to emulate creates a situation where new forms of a thing start to exist, or new ways to skate, I guess. Definitely, Yanni. I hope skateboarding grows for you where you're at, man. I'm gonna start doing my research into the skateboarding scene of Zimbabwe after we're done here. And then I'm gonna find articles about Yanni, the only skateboarder in Zimbabwe, aren't I? Oh, I guess I should have said this earlier. If you guys buy supers, I'm going to write the note next to the super inside of the skateboard. I only got 2 of these left, or 1 of these after this, so wouldn't want to hurry with that. I would love to see that happen, because it's going to end up unique. Like, the style that I've seen come out of the Uganda project has been just unique. I love it. How hard was it to get the URL for your website? So the company has existed since 2012. I wasn't here when the website was got. It was pretty easy. The company has existed since 2012. Life Skateboards existed as a skate shop in the early 2000s. I do know that lifeskateboards.com is extremely expensive. Oh yeah, I remember that when making a skateboard last longer wasn't a gimmick of corner-cutting industry decisions. It was actually a genuine attempt at making boards last longer. I remember that, Jamie. Actually, I don't remember that. I was just made aware of it. What's up, Farthen? I'm just choosing to believe your name is Farthen because I glanced at it. Fartin Master. See, there you go. I approve of that heavily. And if you guys enjoy what you're watching, I know it's kind of boring, just double tap that screen for me. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. All right, we're gonna tape the ends up on this one, and then we got one more to glue up, and you guys are gonna get to watch the presses go up. And we'll go and start doing some shaping. I've also got some packaging I would like to print for butter bars. We're gonna see how I'm feeling at the end of this. See if I feel like doing it. This tape is not cooperating with me today. At all. It's like it heard me bitching about it. It was like, well, let me show you what really not working with you does. Jesus. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to run this roll of tape on the orbital to get the glue cleaned off of it. All right, let's hope that helped me out because that was getting real annoying. There we go. See, every time that happens, I just kind of run the orbital around the edge and it removes the excess glue. Good catch, Casper. It's been one of those days today. See, the taping would have prevented that sliding around, but no. All right, now that was annoyingly difficult for no reason, and we're back. Technical difficulties. No, one didn't fall out, Rob. What happened was I had a stack of 7 plies sitting next to that one. None of them fell out. It's gonna be okay though. Yeah, if it did fall though, I would honestly, like if a glued piece of veneer fell out of the board, I'd probably grab a new one. I'd definitely have to grab a new one and glue it up. It would end up with little chunks of stuff on it. Chunks in your board isn't good for you. Type on 2. Good questions today. If you guys have any questions about board making or the board making process here at Life Skateboards, feel free to ask. If you're going to ask about my opinions of other brands, you're not going to get those opinions unless you ask about the board maker. You can get my opinion about the industry, or you might just get an unprovoked rant about the industry if you stick around long enough. Who knows? I make fun of people with lab coats that talk about nanotubes sometimes. You never know what I'm going to talk about here at Life Skateboards. You just use 4 hydraulic jacks. We use 2 20-ton jacks for presses, that's correct. Same method that's been used since 2012 here at Life Skateboards. Is the glue that you use usually just the one that is used for wood? It's a type of wood it's a type of glue that's used for wood. How long does it take to make a board from start to finish? So, you're watching me glue it up right now. And then they go in the press for 24 hours. They cure for 7 days. And then it takes about 20-30 minutes to shape. And then you've got drying time for graphic application and then clear coat. So here at Life Skateboards, we apply our graphics by hand with hand-carved lino blocks. So there's going to be a little bit of a dry time between printing and clearing. The reason we do that is because we don't want to damage the board before it reaches the customer, unlike the majority of the industry that uses a heat transfer. So we use lino blocks. Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, they are great quality. If you don't want to take my word for it, you can Google us and check our reviews. People love us. Rob said, what are my thoughts on the type of epoxies and resins? Here's my thoughts on it. The industry has been cutting corners on board making for a very, very long time. They exchanged quality for quantity a long time ago. That rang true when they stuck with heat transfers for skateboards. Made popsicles the main shape because of the easiest thing to make, things like that. So what I see those things as is a really cheap way to fix the corner cutting that's gone on in the industry, whereas they could have just found a way to make all wood construction boards made correctly. To go back to the way it should have been. I'm obviously not going to knock a company for trying to make their boards last longer. There's just a whole step of the process they're skipping over that could be improved. But that's not cost effective, apparently. We're doing fine. Alrighty. 1/4 inch round. You'll see all these shaping tools in just a moment here. We're about to load up to get you guys unplugged and over here on the press. No problem, Rob. I'm glad you got me into that one. Are these hanging on the wall for sale? No, these ones are, they are finished boards, but some of these have blemishes on them. Sorry about that. My phone keeps freezing. They're just wall displays here. But if you want one of these boards, you go to lifeskateboard.com and choose out of our, I think it's over 100 shapes now on the website. I know we had 77 and Sam just added over 30. So, all right, so we're going to load these up into the standard press here. Grab 2. Set one in there and align it really well. Alignment's extremely important on these boards. If the board's not aligned properly, they won't be pressed properly. If it's not pressed properly, it's a waste of wood. These plastic separators here not only keep the boards themselves separate, but they keep the press clean a little bit. Obviously, it doesn't keep it perfectly clean, as you can tell from the colorful icicles hanging down off the side of this. And I apologize that I can't really see the chat right now. This is a part of the process that I really got to pay attention to what I'm doing. So you fit 2 in there, a maximum of 3 in the mold so that they don't lose concave. We want to have consistent concave across all of our boards. Alright, bottom separator, let me grab these last 2 here. And then we'll raise these up. Now, at one point these jacks were hooked up as pneumatic jacks, but we have not hooked the compressor up through this room, so we're going to be raising them up by hand. Little extra work, same results, same great boards. And remember, you can get these at lifeskateboard.com. Once again, that is lifeskateboard.com. Just making sure these are aligned properly in the press here. centered end to end. And we are good to go. So we're going to grab these sticks and we're going to start raising these up by hand. Awesome, Mike. So yeah, we've got a ton of different shapes for you to choose from. You're gonna have your hands full when you check our website. That's lifeskateboard.com. How many are made and sold in one day? MTB Dan asked that question. That's a question without a consistent answer. We make boards to order here, so it really depends on entirely what you guys order. So you can impact that number, but I can't give you that answer directly. There's the boss man. Yeah, I think yeah, more would always be better, Dan. What makes my boards different from the rest? Are you ready, Dan? Because I'm gonna go on a rant. So what you just watched was the boards get glued by hand. So we glue the boards by I'll be able to talk soon, I promise. We glue the boards by hand here to ensure full glue coverage on every side of every ply inside of your board, so that we can guarantee against delam. Factories are going to use a glue machine that misses your top and bottom ply. We don't want to do that. We also do a long press and cure time, so that's 24 hours in the press, 7 days curing before the shape is cut out. We also have an extremely deep concave, something that a lot of companies do not offer. We've got a bunch of different concaves, and we offer a ton of shapes. Like I said, over 77 were on the website, and I know Sam just added about 30. And the other difference is how the boards are made. They're made for you. They're not made for a warehouse shelf for you to choose from. They're made for you. So instead of the wood being shipped to China, getting pressed in China, getting sent to a warehouse, and then hopefully going into a skate shop before it goes to your feet, you order a board, we make it, we send it to you. A lot quicker, a lot of less in between steps. The final difference is the graphic application process. So here at Life, we apply our graphics with hand-carved lino blocks. The majority of the industry uses a heat transfer, and while that's a great, easy way to recreate photorealistic graphics or just mass-produce graphics, it applies heat to the skateboard. And the thing that weakens the bond between glue and wood is heat. So it doesn't matter how easy that is, it damages the skateboard. So we use lino blocks here. Thank you, Dan. So yes, we do ship to the UK. International shipping sucks, but it's a flat rate. So order with some friends. You save on shipping. We lose on shipping, but we sell multiple boards, so it's worth it. Mike Mars, you're watching a company do it right now. Thank you. I'm having a little bit of trouble with this jack here. I just need to tighten it down a little more. There it goes. All right. You guys can kind of see the glue squeezing out the side there. All right, so now I've just got to cover up the glue and we will move on to shaping here at Life Skateboards. Those guys are going to be under pressure for a minimum of 24 hours and then cure for a minimum of 7 days. Of course, Dan, it's going to be lifeskateboard.com. If you want to check out my shape that I designed, look up Casper on the website and you'll find it real easy. I've been loving that shape. There's actually a really fun travel video posting tomorrow of me and my friends skating, and I was skating that shape the entire weekend. Christmas is coming! And here's the cool thing, if you want to get, let's say you've got that niece or nephew that you really need to get into skateboarding, but you don't want to get them that Walmart board, and you don't know what they want. get them a board from us. Not only can you just get a youth board, so you're not getting a giant board for a little kid, but you're getting a board that's going to last. So if you go to lifeskateboard.com, there's going to be an option on there for Make My Life Complete. We'll finish out the complete for you, and then you can pick whatever shape you want. We've got several youth boards where the kicks are closer together. We've also got whatever else you want. So check out lifeskateboard.com, Make My Life Complete. You can start a kid off with a high quality board, handcrafted, made for them, with good parts that are going to last a while. All right, so like I said at the beginning of this, I'm going to need a new bag. We do this to make sure the roller doesn't dry up overnight on us. And cover it back up and place this slab right here. And now this is good to go for the day. I'm going to grab my charger before I drag you guys in here. And now we're going to move on to the next step. So, we do everything here. What you're going to see on the walls are templates. These are how the shapes are cut out. So once those boards are in the press, they're under pressure for 24 hours. Johnny, let's, so Sam was just on here. Let me see if he's in here real quick. Johnny has ordered several boards from us. So just so everybody knows when they order things, I make the boards, but when I see the boards I'm supposed to make, this is how I see them. They're just in stacks like this. I don't actually see an order. Awesome! That's the cool thing is sometimes when you hop in here and ask questions, the guy with the answers in the chat. So Sam is the owner and operator of Life Skateboards. He's in the chat right there. Any question that he answers is the final answer on things. What's up, guys? So awesome, because I was about to go ask Sam what the resolution on that was. All right, so I'm gonna get back to this. Not much, skate family. So once the boards are pressed and they're cured for 7 days, Sam takes that uncut and he puts the truck holes in right here. He then attaches one of the templates to that uncut, and it'll attach through the truck holes like this. So that template will be on the bottom right there, and then he runs that, runs the template along this bearing. This cuts out the shape. We bring the edge to a 90 with the concave on this belt, round it off right here, clean it up a little bit more here. This is going to need some air before we go any further. Clean it up again right here, and then a final step of sanding on the orbital. Now the orbital is where I can take my mask off and talk to you guys. Johnny, thank you for always hopping in here when Sam's in here to give you an answer. I appreciate that. All right, I'm going to go grab the compressor hose, turn the compressor on, air up that, and we're going to go grab the Life Skateboards sign to throw up on the wall so you guys can see the website. And don't forget, lifeskateboard.com. Subscribe, double tap the screen, do all the things. Compressor hose. Compressor off. I'm coming. All right, and we're back. Whew. So we're going to throw this respirator on. And remember how I was talking about those youth boards? Well, we got a few of them right here to shape. So these youth boards are made for the kids. I've got a standard popsicle here to show you the difference. So here is your standard popsicle. And then here is a youth twin. Put the nose and nose together there so you can see the difference. It's going to be a lot shorter. Your kicks are going to be closer together. And this one's going to come standard as a 6-ply, whereas your normal boards are going to come standard as a 7-ply. So those are available on lifeskateboard.com. Oh, thanks, Sancty. That's so sweet of you. I sure do make skateboards for a living. Oh, you're giving out 10 youth boards? That's awesome, man. Anything to help the youth get into skateboarding. When's the date for that, Skate Family? It's like a Halloween event. On the 31st in Sebring, Florida. What's up, Gray Jedi? I'm about to get started on some youth boards here. We're going to go ahead and take 3 of these 3 at a time. 7 to 9 on October 31st in Sebring, Florida is a Halloween jam put on by Skate Family. Alright, so we're going to start off with this youth twin right here. And like I said, we're going to be bringing the edge to a 90 on this. At a 90 there, and we're going to do the same thing to these next 2 boards. And then the next step is set up for a 7-ply thickness. So you're going to see me kind of angle the board down more often than you normally do. But we'll get to that in a second. You definitely will, Great Jedi. We've got a couple of them. You can get a normal popsicle or a twin. You can find an 8.5 at lifeskateboard.com. Alright, so this next step is my favorite to watch. It's where the edge of the board actually gets round. So we will, hold on a second here, guys. Somebody went and piled everything right in front of where I need to have the tripod. So what you're seeing the move right now is just a bunch of templates that are in my way. There we go. That's a little less in my way now. All right. You guys are going to get a nice close look at this edge starting to get round. All right, I'm going to change the angle up and we're going to do one more. There we go. One more of these, and then we'll be on to the next step here. Hope you guys are enjoying me changing up these angles here. I will admit, this is where all my shorts come from. So these seem to work pretty well, so it is what it is. Enjoy it. So now that those three are rounded off there, we're going to clean it up on this step here. So we're going to clean up the edges, any excess glue I can reach on the bottom, and then clean up the nose and tail. For the next step, we got here. What's up, guys? I don't know a Captain Johnny. I don't know a Captain Johnny. I know the Captain Lou. I know several Johnnies. But, oh, you're asking about that Johnny. So he's just no longer filming for us, is the deal on that. But, if you guys like what you're watching, don't forget, you can go to lifeskateboard.com and get one of these boards. Right now, the likes are at 69, which I hate to ask you to change that, but I want to see those numbers go up by the time I'm done shaping this board. Wow. Thank you, Richie. I greatly appreciate you. Remember, guys, you can buy supers to support, and I greatly appreciate it. The other thing you can do to support is get a board at lifeskateboard.com. You can become a member on the channel, give you access to videos early, or subscribe to my Patreon. When it comes to my Patreon, I can withdraw that immediately, and it helps me out right away. But anything is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'm glad you get to be a part of it, Richie. Isn't that great? That's something that my first board sponsor taught me, is that sometimes skateboarding doesn't always involve riding your skateboard. Sometimes it involves stuff like this, helping out at skate parks, stuff like that. So I'm sorry to hear that your body kind of betrayed you with as far as physically skating, but I'm glad that you can enjoy skateboarding in one way or another. Let's catch up here. Wow, you guys pushed that like number up quite a bit, didn't you? Sorry, Yukon. You know what you do. It happens. There we go. All right, we were having an issue with the live there for a second. Thanks for bumping up that like number, guys. Keep doing that for me. I'm going to bring something over here to show you guys. I showed this off at the beginning of the live, but I'm going to show it again. I'll be right back, and I got something really cool to show you guys. Keep bumping those numbers up for me. So, like I said, I've already talked about this earlier on the live, but I will be hosting a contest with Shell over at Lawrence Skate Park in Indiana on November 9th, called Remember November. It's the second annual one that we've done. Every portion of it, like the best tricks, everything else, is going to have a ladies first portion where the women get to participate first, and then everybody, so women are going to have 2 cracks at winning everything. The goal is to encourage more women to compete in the Midwest around here. Lots of women that skate, not a lot that compete. So I'm trying to show that just competing is fun. It's a free to enter contest. We're just all having a damn good time. But my buddy Doug Frazier over at Life Without Limits made us all these. These are all patches. And this is Ladies Skate Squad by Skate Park Respect, Remember November. So we got the red patches, these light tan patches, these dark ones. Thank you, Lacey. And the other really cool thing he made for us, these bottle openers here. These things are awesome. And these are going to be given away with the prizes in Remember November. And we might even end up doing raffles to raise money for Skate Park Respect. Skate Park Respect is a nonprofit that, with a goal of cleaning skate parks, keeping them clean so that they can be improved. Then the city doesn't have to spend money on maintenance. They spend money on expanding the skate park. They were the ones that kind of lit the fire under me that started the project over at Lawrence Skate Park. If you haven't checked that out, Google Lawrence Skate Park in Indiana. You'll see all the articles about everything we've done there. Love that community. And the other cool thing that Doug made for us, thanks for watching from Germany, and this one's for the shop, is this. So this is one of our graphics from Life Skateboards. Doug burned it into here. It's really rad. This is going on the wall somewhere in the shop. I just wanted to show you guys that before we continue working here. And now we'll get to it. So I'm going to be cleaning these up on this step here. And then we're going to take the respirator off. And I'll be able to answer your guys' questions, talk to you, all that fun stuff. So if you got any questions, feel free. You crafted that. Nope, this one was burned in by Doug Frazier at Life Without Limits. That's one of our Lino blocks, though. Dang, Cran, that's so sweet. Thank you. Pretty privilege. Getting asked if I have about my pretty privilege on the same live where someone called me an old man shows the just full span of the internet there. Thanks for tuning in from the Philippines. But all right, one more step of cleaning. And then the final step on the orbital. So the orbital itself is hooked up to a vacuum system, which is why I can take the respirator off for this step. Thanks, Cran. I appreciate you. I also appreciate the compliment. Thank you. Always good to just make strangers feel better, isn't it? I don't know. What kind of tree is that? It was a maple tree. Alrighty. So this final step here is the last step of sanding before graphics. We finish it with a 150. And then graphics get printed on with hand-carved lino blocks. I don't think we're going to be printing any boards today. Good old maple tree. Good old Great Lakes or Canadian maple tree. Because you want something with long winters and slow growth to create tight grains. Now after I'm done here with these boards, if you don't know, I have a wax company called Butter Bars Wax where I hand print all the packaging. I was kind of planning on doing that. Not sure if I want to film a time lapse or do it live here. Why don't you let me know by liking if you want me to. Well, maybe we'll print. Where do you get old skateboards? I don't know. I make new ones. I would always encourage someone to start making boards because it might give them the bug to start doing it for a living. Is it worth it? It really depends on you because you're making exactly what you want. What's up, guys? Yes, probably. I don't know. Does syrup come from hard maple? Or does it come from soft maple? That's something I don't know. You guys kind of see what I'm doing here. All right, seems like you guys want to see the lineup watch when we're done, so I guess we'll do that. Oh, Cran, so as far as board making being lucrative, the beginning of it is not. So I wasn't here for the beginnings of Life Skateboards, but what you're going to run into is a lot of trial and error with the molds and things like that. My biggest thing with encouraging people is just to make sure they don't get discouraged by how not lucrative it is at the beginning. But eventually things start making sense for you, if that makes sense. I know my boss carved some of these molds by hand and then learned that it should be CNC cut. There's a lot of trial and error that you're going to run into that nobody can really prepare you for while you're trying to do that, but I'm always going to encourage you to do it. I mean, hell, you can start off with a jigsaw and a belt sander and vacuum seal your boards if you want to. You'd like to frame a board that I make with my signature. Well, you can always get my signature on any board from Life Skateboards. Just put it in the notes on your order. But if you want something cool, you can get my shape from the website. That's lifeskateboard.com. Just Google Life. Go to lifeskateboard.com and search Casper on there. You'll find my shape, and then I'll sign that for you. Wouldn't that be funny? That would be fun. That'd be some really flat facial hair, too, wouldn't it? No, Cran, I've never built a skateboard. I mean, snowboard. I've built a lot of skateboards. But as far as snowboards go, I haven't done that. Some of our boards have been turned into snow skates, though. But, of course, Minx. What's up, Bobby? And yes, man, no, I do not. Just, if the ATF is watching, no, don't shoot my dog. I don't do that. Thanks. It sure is, Bobby. You missed a minute ago when I was showing these off. I know you saw them on Instagram, but these things are going to be awesome. Is it the same thickness throughout the board? Yes, it is. This one is actually a 6-ply compared to our standard 7, but your thickness is going to go based off of your plies. So your crossbands are 1/20th and your vertical grains are 1/16. Fingerboards, nope, just skateboards. These are actually Yeah, Nightbot's working. Yes, man. Do you realize that you're talking to a bot? Yeah, I just realized that my nose is blue now. But you are talking to a bot, my friend. Hey, no worries, guys. Have a great day, Juggalo, and have a good day, Bobby, if you're having to dip out. Oh, it's all right. Jump on Yes Man, apparently. I'll take it. I'll accept it. Tell me what to do, Yes Man. All right. So this youth twin is ready for graphics. So a little bit of touch up here. For graphics. And remember, those are available at lifeskateboard.com. You guys remember that kid on the playground that would always like force everybody to play the game that they wanted to play, and then like start bullying that kid in the middle of those games, and start bullying those kids in the middle of playing that game, and then get real mad at them when they didn't want to play the game? Be like, what's wrong with you guys? We're having fun. Remember that? Self-awareness is important. Anyway, Life Skateboards, handcrafted skateboard decks made just for you. Yes, Anthony, this is Life Skateboards. If you remember the shop from the early 2000s, same owner, Sam Koch is still here. He makes all the templates, he cuts out all the shapes and applies all the graphics. If you do remember it up in Muncie, Anthony? Thank you, dude. So what Jedi's talking about is there's a new video uploading tomorrow. If you're a member, you can see that video already. Isn't he awesome? Dude, all I had to do, it took 2 lines for him to figure out how to film everybody that we're with. Oh man, Yes Man, why are you here? Definitely a solid cameraman. Yeah, hopefully Sam will pop in here at some point. He doesn't like to be on camera too much if you know him, but hopefully he'll pop in here. I will tell him. Sam, ship his board right now. It's a coffin. It better ship. I know I emailed you last night, but of course, man. Skateboard maker. Well, Anthony, actually, you should probably hit up Sam. So yes, we moved the shop down to New Palestine, so we're not in Muncie anymore. But there's still a key program for the life holders. I'm sorry, there's still a key holder program for the Life Bowl. So it's still there. You just got to talk to Sam about how to get in. Oscar, I've been making boards for about 4 years now. The company's been making boards since 2012. Like we're at 99 likes there, guys. Let's push that above 100 for me. Double tap the screen, subscribe if you like what you're watching, so you can catch these lives more often. And if you want to become a member, and you'll be able to see the video that's supposed to upload tomorrow. I saw that number hit 100. Thank you, guys. No, Oscar, I've been doing this for about 4 years. Now, I've been skating for 21 years, but let's see. The company started in 2012. This was a skate shop in the early 2000s. It shut down around 2008, and then in 2012, it came back as a board manufacturer as Life Skateboards. Thank you for the likes, guys. I appreciate you. Well, hey, maybe there's a way back into it, man. So, I mean, I broke only one, but I broke my leg a few years back and came back to skateboarding. Skateboarding doesn't have too many limits anymore. If you look up the adaptive skateboarding contests and things like that, you're going to see people that have no legs below the knees that are skateboarding. You're going to see amputees skateboarding. You're going to see I mean, I've seen people with the supportive cage with cerebral palsy skateboarding. It's insane to me just how accessible skateboarding is getting for everybody. So hopefully that's not just an in your mind thing as far as getting hurt and not wanting to skate, but if it's something physically holding you back, I got news for you. There's ways to get back on a board. And that one's ready for graphics. Now this is another youth twin from Life Skateboards. You can get that at lifeskateboard.com. A little bit of cleanup here. If you had rubber tires, then maybe. Oh, dang, you're in Alaska. I mean, I know there are some skaters out there. I'm sure it's probably difficult for you to get out and skate there. Let's see. I don't know, does Shark Wheels still work in snow? I'm not sure. Now, if you're looking for a way to get back into skateboarding one way or another, you are close to Canada. Canada has Ambition skateboard, snow skates, which are, now, these are not skateboards, they're just ways to skate in the snow. You got board with extremely steep kicks that's going to work on the snow, that's got like kind of jagged rubber grip tape to hold onto your feet. It's pretty cool. Thanks, Tiff. Thanks for tuning in. And it's a fun shape, isn't it, Nate? We've got several different versions of it. So our small twin is at 8.1, mid twin is at 8.6, big twin is at 9.1. And then we've got egg twins that have the same nose and tail as that one, but taper out. That one you just saw was a twin youth. Thanks, I love this hat. Won this a long time ago. All right, Oscar, sounds like you need to order an Ambition skateboard, snow skate, and have fun with it. We do have 875 and 81. You should go to 881. You should go to lifeskateboard.com. You're going to be going through about 100 different shapes and sizes, and you'll definitely find something you want. If there's something that almost like what you want, and you want to let us know, you can contact us, ask us some questions about custom. I'm going to put a heavier grip to knock some of this off of here. And thanks for the likes, guys. Remember, when you double tap the screen, it lets YouTube know that you like it. Pushes more people this direction, then I can make more boards, you guys get to see more stuff, and my bills get paid. So if you want to support directly, you can either become a member here, subscribe to my Patreon, buy super thanks. Everything is super appreciated. Next purchase with the channel is taking care of my vehicle. I got to change my brakes and oil, so you guys are helping out with that. Well, thank you for all that information, Casual Style Netherlands. I appreciate you. Love you too, man. Love you too. Take a little more time than others. Some more excess glue on the top. I couldn't reach with the other tools. Where do I live? I live in Indianapolis. The shop is located about 20 minutes away in New Palestine, Indiana. I technically live in Lawrence, Indiana, which is the municipality of Indianapolis. That's where my local park is that I take care of. Well, I haven't been there too much to clean up trash lately. I've been traveling a lot and working a lot. But since we kind of started the project to keep the park clean, I haven't had to do much. The community just kind of picked everything up on their own. It's been great. I get to go to the park and just have a session instead of clean up trash. Everybody, we're going to go ahead and ask you to keep your fantasies to yourself about me. I appreciate the compliment, but no thanks. No way! That was that Nicole bitch again. People are very strange. Probably the Clearwater glaciers, Oscar. I have no intent to go to Alaska. I'm a bitch about the cold these days, but if I were, I'd probably want to go see the glaciers. all the thicker chunks of glue off of there. And now we'll go back with a 150 and hit everything. Give me 1 second here, though. I'm going to go grab myself a drink real quick. While I'm gone, there's 160 of you. Let me know where you guys are from. I'm pretty interested. And let that like number go up. We're at 121 right now. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. 1 second here. I'll be right back. White black. Forgot where I put my water. Back to it with a 150. You got Pennsylvania. You're down at Van's Skate Park right now. You're in Indiana? DK Sneak Peek, what part of Indiana are you in? No way, that's rough. I don't know what happens when you give a bear some food, but I know what happens when you give a mouse a cookie. Would firecrackers be better than bear spray? I need a bear expert to let me know. Animal bear expert, please. Yeah, we don't need an angry bear. We don't need an angry bear. Thanks, Netherlands. Have a good one. Yes, Nate. They call me Quick Hands Casper for a reason. I can light a firecracker quicker than that bear even knows what's going on. Thank you, Nate. Want to see me scare off a bear? Want to see me do it again? See, I'm quick, Nate. You know it, Nate. Thanks, Nate. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping in. This guy is ready for graphics, and now we're going to start over on the process with several of them. So we just finished these 3 youth boards up. And remember, you can go to lifeskateboard.com. That's lifeskateboard.com and get yourself a youth board from us. Youth boards are, your kicks are going to be closer together. Here is a length comparison from a normal popsicle to a youth popsicle. And we've got several of these shapes as well. This is an example of the twin. And then let me pull one of these templates off the wall here. We've also got a youth punk point, fun one, and a youth 1990 shape. So you can start your kiddo off with a cool fishtail. So, alrighty. Now we'll go ahead and take the rest of these through one at a time. Hi there, Tom and Oscar. Thank you for tuning in. We got another Oscar in here. Oscar, say hello to Oscar. Look at me keeping track of names. I'm usually bad at that. Wow, the likes match how many people are watching. I currently can't see the amount of likes because there's a light right here. So it's at 130 right now. I'm going to bring the edge of these 3 boards to a 90. And I want that number to go up. I can't see what it is yet. But let's see that number go up for me. And share this with your friends if you want. That'd be helpful. Look at that bird's eye pattern on there. it off now. Oh, thank you guys. Always nice to clean off the equipment for the next guy. I'm the next guy. Well, make sure you guys double tap that screen for me. We're going to go through the next step here is my favorite one to watch. It's the one that I turn into shorts all the time. So we're going to get 6 shorts out of today. So I need to catch up on the chat here, it looks like. We got... What's up, Pedro? Thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for hopping on here. Oh, what's up, Keiko? I sure was talking shit about PS Sticks the last time you were on here. That must have been last Thursday, probably. Or who knows? I do that a lot. All right. Next step here is going to be cleaning this up. What's up, What's up, Motor Duck? All right, so we're going to start off with this blue one here. Now, whenever I get a really pretty grain, I want to kind of make it look like you guys are about to get hit by the board as I'm shaping it. That's always fun. I like the comments that are like, hey, don't hit me with that next time. All right. Alrighty. I forgot which way the camera was facing that time. Look at this beautiful, beautiful bird's eye pattern on there. Is freezing all over the place today, guys. Sorry about that. Nope, it doesn't hurt my feelings when people stomp their board. So those are factory boards. Remember, the industry pushed focusing boards out as a cool thing to do to make the life of a board less. You're gonna hurt yourself trying to focus one of our boards. That's for sure. What's up, Casper? It's Casper. Yes, it will. That would be some crazy clog sole. Yes, bird's eye is amazing. It sure is. Woo! Teddy said he got his Casper board. That was one of these 10 signed and numbered Casper signatures when we released that shape. Now my shape is available on the website. So if you go to lifeskateboard.com and search Casper in the search bar, you're going to get my shape. It's the Casper 3.0. It's really fun. I'm absolutely loving it. I really wish I could breed those because my ignorant eyes are just seeing squiggles. And that's just based off my ignorance. I guarantee you probably speak more languages than me. All right, one more here. Then we're going to clean this guy off, move on to the next one, and then because you guys said we wanted to earlier, we're going to see. I'm going to take my phone off of Wi-Fi at the end of this and hope that it doesn't screw up the live because I have no clue what's going to happen. And then we're going to go into the next building and maybe print some packaging for Butterbar's Wax. Thanks, Casper. I appreciate you. Casper says thank you. You can get a board that says Casper on it too, man. It's my shape. So let me clean it off with a wire brush. Where's my wire brush? I'm going to check out here and see if the wire brush is out here, because if it's not getting cleaned off. Leave for a weekend and the wire brush disappears. Oh well, it's going to get cleaned with abrasive cleaner. And then I'll catch up on the chat, do the last step before the orbital, and then I'll actually be able to answer you while I'm working. Let's catch up on the chat here, and then we will get going. All right. Just making skateboards, that's correct. Kayla Williams. Oh, you're answering people. It is some weird pizza dough. How many rupees on one skateboard? I am very sorry, but I'm a little ignorant to the conversion there. But popsicles are $75, and then shapes go up from there. If you'd like one of these, you can go to lifeskateboard.com, check out what we got for you. You're going to be choosing over a lot of shapes and sizes. You'll be able to choose your wheelbase, your graphic, all kinds of stuff. You can find my shape on there if you just look up just search Casper on the website. And yep, you can find that there. You can get my signature graphic or Lori's graphic by putting in the notes. Very soon that graphic will be on there. Buddy. It's called hard maple. If you'd like me to educate you on the wood that skateboards are made out of, I can help you with that. Once again, this is me having to blow my nose again. This temperature change sucks. It's making me have to blow my nose all the time. You guys don't want to see that. That's gross. Alright, so we're going to do this last step here. Hi there, McDonald's. I understand that you don't have the ability to create a platform, so you like to disrupt other people's platform because of your inability, but that's not a substitute for ability. And I hope one day you do get a good substitute for ability, but you're not going to get it here. Thanks. Anyway, what's up, Dark? Good seeing you. Thanks for tuning in from Indonesia, Tukang. Tukang? I really wish I knew how to pronounce that. What's up, Camden? Glad you're back again. Let's bump that like number up for me, guys. How much are the skateboards? $75 for a popsicle, and then the shapes go up from there. You can find all that at lifeskateboard.com. It's a skateboard. It's plied wood. You've got 5 vertical grains and 2 cross bands inside of your skateboard. $75 for popsicles, and shapes go up from there. You can go to lifeskateboard.com and check out prices if you'd like to. I'm doing all right, Dark. Thanks for asking. I see that like number going up, guys. Thank you very much. We ship everywhere, all over the world. International shipping sucks, but it is a flat rate. So order multiple boards. We lose a little on shipping. You save a little on shipping. We sell multiple boards. Win, 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 win. Everybody gets a life board. Go to lifeskateboard.com. Get a life! That was a long sentence. Long run-on sentence. I don't know. I don't handle the post office. As far as international shipping goes, it would just I'm unfortunately not the one to ask that. Our turnaround time for us is 2 to 3 weeks maximum in case we have to press something fresh for you. But as for international shipping, you just have to check on the website for that one. There we go. Now I know. 6,500 rupees. Now I know that that is the comparison there. I will never remember that. I'll remind you that. George, you don't have an indoor skate park? Once again, play G-Tag. I'm going to highly encourage you to go to lifeskateboard.com because you're going to be able to see every single shape that we have there. Dang, Dark, that sucks. Sorry guys, my screen keeps freezing on me. Thank you guys for sticking with me when that happens. Sorry guys, my screen keeps freezing on me. Thank you guys for sticking with me when that happens. Double tap the screen for me. I want to see that number go above 200. That sounds cool to me. I'm from the US, so right smack dab in the middle is Indiana, and then Indianapolis is right smack dab in the middle of that, and that's where I'm at. Dang it. It froze for too long, and now, there we go. Now the top and bottom of this are clean, and we're going to get moving on with the edges here, and then I'm going to show off this bird's eye pattern for the camera. Thanks, Abdullah. So these are just tattoos. It's okay, buddy. That sounds like a haul just to get to a skate park. I get it though, it's hard to keep a skate park open and running. That's for sure. Alright, and this beautiful thing is ready for graphics to be applied. This is our big twin from Life Skateboards. It's got a square, symmetrical nose and tail, tapers towards the center, and it's 9.1. Check it out. This thing's got beautiful bird's eye pattern on it. Look at that. That's one of my favorite things about this, is seeing all the amazing patterns that come out of these boards. Thanks, Maple, for being so beautiful. Awesome, man. So maybe you just need to get yourself a butane torch or a propane torch and a shovel. It sounds like you just got a job this winter. Oh, I used to do that. Me and my buddies used to shovel the parks and then hit them with a torch to dry them off so we could skate in the winter. Now I'm a bitch in the cold and I have metal in my ankle, so it's hard for me to skate when it's cold. But who knows? I'll probably end up doing it again. Last year I shoveled some of the skate park and then I realized that people were snow skating in the skate park, so I didn't want to ruin it for them. I've got indoors close to me. There's a private bowl we can go that's only an hour away from here. 20 minutes away is another indoor. There's another indoor an hour and a half away. 3 hours for another one. I'm going to have to check that out. Bethlehem. Dang, it freezes my screen when I screenshot now. That's no fun. Hopefully they do, Dark. I know how it is when cities start dragging their heels on expansion. Believe me, there's so much drama going on in our city, in our municipality right now, that I'm not even asking where we're at as far as the expansion goes. Give me 1 second here to grab myself a drink. We got 2 more boards on the orbital, and then we are done shaping. I'll grab some stuff while I'm in here too. So, when we're done shaping here, we might even get to this. Now I've said before, I have a small wax company called Butterbars Wax. If you haven't seen how we apply our graphics here at Life Skateboards, we use hand-carved lino blocks, majority carved by Ben Blakely. So for my company, I wanted to keep that handcrafted bit of it there. So this is the packaging from Butterbars. This is the one of the butter bars themselves that break off like chocolate bars. But this is how I've been doing the packaging. So we've got these lino blocks here that I carved myself. They're actually the right direction for you guys. And I print all the packaging by hand. We might get to that today. If not, oh well. I'll do it another day. Let me get these packed into here and we will get back to board making. But this is the same ink that we print the boards with. Speedball lino block printing ink. I just use black and gold on mine. It makes it kind of have that candy bar feel. The way that I run the wax company, the bars are $9 each. $2 goes into a fund for the community as far as cash prizes for events, water for sessions, stuff like that. And then $1 out of every sale goes to the team. There's a number of bars that get dropped each time I make them. And then there's currently 3 team members. That's Justin Hutchins, Charlie Six, and then we are going to be we've got Justin Hutchins and Charlie Six on the team, and then we are going to be adding Chuck Bennett to the team. That's the next drop. So those are all pros. They're all getting paid for it. So if there's 150 bars, they get $50 for the first drop. And then they sign a little card that gets shoved in there. So you get a 1 in 3 chance of getting each of their signatures. I'm thinking of maybe adding a 4th team member with this drop, but we'll see. But all right, let's get to finishing this up here, and then we'll see if we get to printing any of those today. I'm changing my printing method a little bit, so you guys are going to be learning with me as we go here. Thank you. The spider webs were fun to make, that's for sure. Omar, I don't know anything about the job market in Morocco. So I wish I could give you some advice, but I can't. Wow, you guys pushed it above 200. Thank you. You can't get your back foot on. So is your back foot falling in front of your board or behind your board? That's the question there. Whoopsie. My vacuum came off. While Dark's answering that, I'm going to be re-taping my vacuum here. We ensure there's a good connection here by using some good old Gorilla Tape. It's falling behind, so you're catching it with your front foot and then stomping that down. Yeah, so it's muscle memory. Just jump a little higher. Jump a little higher and focus on bringing that back foot up, and it should hit your feet. Maybe adjust where your back foot placement is. Focus on what's happening to your shoulders when you pop, because sometimes opening or closing your shoulders when you pop affects where your hips start to turn. If your hips close on a tray flip, your back foot's going to move behind you. If they open, your back foot's going to go in front of you. So there's a lot of factors that can go into that, but I'd start with trying to jump higher with the board and then start figuring out what's throwing off your body. I'm sure you'll get one the next couple of days. That's one thing I always tell people, especially when they're getting things back, is never get discouraged because you're really close to a trick. That means the next day your body's going to have all of the strength that you learned from that day, and it's going to start using that, make it easier to land it the next time. Hey, Koch, thanks for tuning in. Double tap that stream for me, guys. Share it for me. Whatever you want to do. It's always going to help me out. Hi there, Lino. You guys are just now joining. You're watching the last process before graphics are applied here at Life Skateboards. Here at Life, we do everything in-house, so we handcraft every skateboard that comes out of here. We press them, we glue them, we shape them, we apply the graphics. You just gotta skate it. Get over to lifeskateboard.com and get yourself a Life. Dark? No, I don't. My frontside flips suck. Fakie frontside flips are super easy for me. Frontside flips and transition makes sense, but flat ground, I sure wish Chuck Bennett was here on this live. The guy I've been bringing around on trips with me, because he has a beautiful frontside flip. I did watch an Andrew Reynolds video recently where he said to have your shoulders already ready to turn. That doesn't work for me at all. My frontside flips are 90 flips that pivot around on flat. Mr. Pallid just approached someone while they're working and asked if they can lend him $50. How about this, bud? You go to lifeskateboard.com and buy a skateboard. That's my solution to that question. Move along. Same. I mean, it's gonna be a different flick. I used to have them. I don't really know what happened, but I never really had a technical understanding of what I was doing when I had them. So it's just gonna take some relearning on my end. All right, now this guy's ready for graphics, so we're going to move on to the last one here. Now, if you guys have any questions about board making, feel free to ask. We're going to move on to printing some packaging for my wax company after we're done here. I need to get front boards down. I've got really sketchy ones, but my 50s I'm very happy with. Let me go check the weather real quick, see what our plan is after we're done here. It's gloomy and cold, but it's not rainy, so you guys are going to see me throw on my super comfy grandpa sweater from my grandpa. And we'll go over there and print if, big ol' if, it doesn't kick me off the live for getting off of Wi-Fi. So let's, fingers crossed on that. I have absolutely no clue what's going to happen after that. It's either overwhelming or exciting, Dark. The way I look at it is, in my entire life, I guarantee I'm not going to do every single trick in skateboarding, especially since there's probably going to be things that'll be invented that I didn't even think of or that we haven't thought of. If it gives you any hope that there's a ton of tricks to do for the rest of your life, part of my recovery, when I broke my leg, just kind of coming back to things, I pushed myself to land a different trick every day for a year. And that was when I learned I can do 365 different tricks. And I'm still learning new tricks, so that's always a good push to remind myself that it is a little overwhelming, but knowing that I'll never learn everything is kind of a positive outlook on skateboarding, because I'll never get bored with it. There's always something to learn. I love that. Yeah, if you go back into my Instagram, there was a period of time where there was a different post every single day. What's up, Bella? I only know a couple Bellas. Is this the Bella I know? I'm all right. Wait a minute. Is that the Bella that I haven't seen in years, but I know through one of my good late friends? Oh, wow. Really rad that you found your way over here. I'm glad you're doing well too. We actually get talking. I don't know if you saw that. Now I'm going to bring this up, and I hope this isn't heavy. I'm not sure if you saw that Ben did get a memorial over at Lawrence Skate Park, and you should check that out sometime for sure, Bella. Thanks for tuning in. Glad you found my YouTube. We memorialized Ben over at LP if you want to check that out. If you haven't seen that already. I haven't talked to you in so long, so this is probably the first time. Yeah, I haven't been able to tell you. He actually got one of the first stairs. So we turned the 8-stair LP into a memorial where there's 16 different slots. And Ben got one that's says stay hydrated on it, or what did it say? Hydrate or die. I'm pretty sure that's something that would have came out of his mouth. So he's at that park forever now. Positive memory of impact across the scene. All right, top and bottom of this are nice and clean. We're going to clean up the edges, and then we're going to move on to printing some packaging. Well, I'm glad I was on here. Yeah, Dark, I'm glad you guys are... What is diamond art? You're actually working with diamonds? while you answer that, I'm going to get ready over here. We're going to take things over into the printing studio and start some things. I'm going to go ahead and clock out of Life here and start working on the butter bar stuff. That's awesome, Bella. Hopefully, yeah, show me later. That sounds rad. All right. So, I'm gonna prepare us for what may happen here. All right, so the area that I want to print all this stuff in is in the next building over. This building here is a metal box, and we have Wi-Fi in here. You guys are currently connected to the Wi-Fi. I don't know what's gonna happen when I try to leave the building and go into the next building. If it shuts off the live, I apologize, and we'll start another one in the next building and hope that the connection's good enough. If it doesn't, awesome. I feel like saying the poem from the Gray. Maybe that'll help us get through this. What's up, Kako? Awesome, man. Thank you. Yeah, I got things to say about lab coat people. Lab coat person. It's cold, so I'm trying to pull my sleeves down from inside of my shirt here. All right, we're gonna go from one building to the other. Once more into the fray, the last good fight I'll have. Live and die on this day. Live and die on this day. I don't know. I thought that would be funny to say, and then it wasn't funny, so we'll figure it out. All right, guys, wish me luck here. It's a surprise, isn't it? All right. So, fingers crossed, we're going to throw on a sweater. We're going to grab my keys, and we're going to hope that we don't get disconnected here. Now, if we do get disconnected, I'm sorry. Thank you, guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Let me grab my keys, and we'll try this. Let's see what happens. I gotta find my keys first, though. Where the hell did you put those, dummy? Okay. All right, guys. Fingers crossed. Let's all hope. It's cold. It's cold outside. All right, guys. Fingers crossed. I don't know what's about to happen. Ooh, it's sprinkling out